The House of Representatives are pushing forward on a massive CARES 2 package. It could be up for a vote as early as this week, but the content in the bill, which is expected to exceed $2 trillion, is causing a clash between the Republican-controlled Senate and the president. Let's go to our M. Wynn on Capitol Hill to find out what they're fighting about. Is this about the payroll taxes?
Yeah, absolutely, Giselle. Good morning. So one of the bigger points of contention is that President Trump has suggested payroll tax cuts, but Democrats have definitely disagreed. But another big point of difference is that Republicans have suggested not moving forward with more legislation amid the pandemic, when they are saying they have to look at the previous bills, learn from them, learn from any mistakes that have come through, and then craft the best possible legislation moving forward. But Democrats have signaled wanting to push forward with more legislation to help the American people, to help the working class. And this includes Southern California Democrat Norma Torres. And she tells me she's working on legislation that will help protect the medical workers around America during this pandemic. This Sacramento emergency room physician, Dr. Amy Mullen, isn't taking any chances as she stocks up her own protective equipment for her family.
A whole new paradigm that we're dealing with.
Mullen says she's used to seeing critical patients, but these days it's not the same.
Frankly, we see people who die in the emergency department on a regular basis. It's never easy. You never get over it. But this is sort of a different thing because it's so unknown and because even walking into the room, you know you're putting yourself at risk.
Millions of health professionals are more at risk of the deadly coronavirus due to heightened exposure and intimate procedures. Mullen says she knows any day could be her last.
Going to work and, sort of confronting your own mortality just going into work is not something I ever anticipated having to do. I have admitted my own ICU nurse to my own ICU. That was really hard.
She says she often thinks about how her job could affect her family. She knows other medical staff who are living in mobile homes or motels to keep their families safe. And with all of this in mind, she says there's one congressional bill that could ease the burden. Ontario Democrat Norma Torres is calling for an array of new benefits for medical professionals.
We are all scared. But none of us are tasked with having to go into a war zone every single day and taking care of people that are severely sick and highly infectious. And this is what we're asking of our nurses, of our doctors, of our EMTs.
This war zone is prompting a new bill, Torres says, that will support families who lose loved ones working in the medical field, prevent pay cuts, protect workers from complaint retaliation, and provide hazard pay for situations like temporary housing.
It's really easy for us to look at our soldiers and see them with their gear, they get on planes or ships, and then they go off to fight a war in a foreign land. In essence, this is the same thing that we are asking, our nurses and our doctors, except they don't get to have a vest. They don't get to have a gun with bullets. Many of them have not been given the proper equipment that they need to protect themselves.
Mullen says she knew right away this legislation could help her and her colleagues by lifting some stress off their shoulders.
Personally, I think it's really important. I'm so incredibly proud of all of my colleagues across the country and the work that they're doing and the risks that they're taking. But, and I think back to signing up to be an emergency physician, this is not something I ever thought that we would have to face. This is our new reality, that this is my new reality and my new job for a really long time. That's hard.
So this bill could also help medical workers with childcare costs. Housing is mentioned in that story, as well as mental stress. And Torres tells me she, along with 76 other lawmakers, are pushing for this bill to get into the next CARES package, which, as I mentioned, could come as early as the end of this week, could come as a vote in the House. Back to you.
Yeah.